Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a video all about how I like to deal with stress. I also want to talk about the importance of being the best version of yourself and some tips and techniques on how you can discover that. There's a really great exercise from a book that I recently read that I'm going to share with you guys, and I'm actually going to do it with you, and Mo's going to come in and join me, so we're going to do it together. I'm going to share my 3 tips on this topic, and I really hope this is something that you guys can use in your lives as well and can have a positive effect or a positive impact on your life. So I want to start by saying that I think a lot of us do feel stressed or overwhelmed when we do try to be our best selves, because we want to take on, different projects and things and responsibilities and, maybe work stuff, and we want to be really good at everything, like, social life, personal, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our families, keeping our home looking nice, and doing really great at our job, etc., etc. But with that, for myself, I definitely feel overwhelmed at times. So essentially, it's a good thing what we're doing. We want to push ourselves out of our comfort zones and try new things and develop new routines and new habits. But sometimes it just gets a little much. So I think it's really important to talk about, different tools and exercises and things that you can do if you are feeling stressed and overwhelmed, and that's what this video is about. The first thing I want to talk about is the importance of self-care. So doing little things for yourself every single day that keep you centered and keep you balanced. And that certainly doesn't mean that you need to have a really intense morning routine or evening routine that is like perfect or involves too many steps, because that can just be overwhelming. But finding little things that you can do every single day where it feels like you can really come back to yourself and get recentered. So even though you might have a lot of things on your plate and you might have had a really busy day, you know that you can at least rely on those 2 or 3 little things that you do daily that just, it's like a treat, a piece of cake for your soul and for your senses and for your mind. I think how you start your day and how you end your day are 2 really important pillars in our lives that can have a huge effect on how the middle part of our day goes. For example, something that I look forward to every single night is my evening shower, and it's nothing crazy, of course, it's a shower. Right now I'm using this lavender body wash. It can be any other body wash, but just the scent of that on my skin. I love the feeling of warm water running over my body, and I just visualize everything just getting washed off my body that I don't want. It's not really about, physical dirt. It's more about emotional and, maybe things that happen that day, like little stressors and things like that. I just visualize that flowing off my body. And when I'm out of the shower, I feel so good. Of course, I feel clean, but I just feel really calm. It's just so good for my nervous system. It helps me to sleep really good, and I love it. Other examples of really great self-care is taking a few moments in the morning to meditate, to work out, to prepare yourself a really great breakfast. And a big one for me is also just getting out into nature and to breathe fresh air, get lots of good oxygen, see the sun, hear the birds, just let myself see nature and see trees. It's just a very therapeutic thing for me as well that I love. So my point here is just to not forget yourself in the process of living life, because we don't want to be so busy and stressed out with different things that we forget about the present moment and being happy. And I think when we can fill up our own cup first, we just have way more to give to other people, to our families and our work and people around us. So finding things that you can do that are realistic in your day, but that really bring you a lot of joy and, centering at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, do those things. They are important. Not just after you've reached the point of exhaustion or burnout. Infuse your day with these really great self-care rituals and habits, and then you can feel more centered throughout the day without totally losing it, I've been there too, and it's much better to have a good balance during the day so that you can keep going and enjoy the ride and not just feel like you're burning yourself out. The second thing I want to talk about is truly being the best version of yourself and asking yourself every single day or in the moment when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, ask yourself, how do I want to show up right now? How do I want to show up to this experience, to this moment? Who do I really want to be right now? And it is a question that you can ask yourself because it is a choice that you can make. This concept of being your best self is something that I've always had very close to my heart. I think it's very easy to compare ourselves to other people and even to just be inspired by other people, which is a great thing. But at the end of the day, I think that we should be inspired most by the best versions of ourselves and ask ourselves in moments of difficulties and stress, like, okay, how would my best version deal with this moment? So it's about finding that person inside of you and trying to be her every single day. And it's not always going to be perfect. We're definitely going to have moments where it's just like we slip up. But I think if you have that like in the back of your mind and you're looking to her or to him as your guiding kind of like post, I think you can have a really powerful effect on our lives. So I recently read a book called Your Best Self by Mike Bayer. He is a very well-known life coach, and I've watched so many of his interviews, and I think he's a really great person. He has a fascinating story as well. And this book is kind of his like one-on-one guide to working with somebody, but in a book version. So he outlines all of his techniques and all of the questions and the exercises that he uses with his clients, but for you and for me. And I love that this book is just very hands-on. So it's not just theory, it's something that you actually have to do. There's also a really great workbook that comes with the audiobook that you can either print out or just have it on your computer, but there is space to kind of do the exercises. And it's just a really great kind of like self-discovery manual and book to really see the areas where you can improve in your life. There's one exercise that I love that I'm gonna do with Mo, and he's actually out right now. So when he comes back, I'm gonna sit down and film with him and just insert it here. And I wanna show you guys how to do the exercise, and I would love if you guys did it with us. So in the book, he talks about how we all have a really great version of ourselves, and then we have a not so great version of ourselves. And this exercise is all about bringing light and awareness to both of these sides, so that when the moment comes and you feel like you're kind of losing control of yourself and you want to just be the best version, you sort of channel and fully embody the best version of yourself, and you let that person carry you forward. All right, so I'm now here with Mo. He is gonna do the exercise. He's never done
I've never done it.
And you guys, I highly recommend that you just take out a little notebook or a piece of paper, and we can all do this together. The first exercise is to kind of, you can close your eyes if you want, or you can just think about it. Go to a moment where you felt where you were the happiest, best version of yourself, where you felt like you were really living authentically to you, and you were making yourself happy, and you were also being a good human being in the world, where you feel really proud of yourself. So just take yourself back to that moment and then write out some characteristics of that person, or adjectives, ways to describe yourself where you felt, for example, you could say, I feel really confident, or my best version of myself is really confident, he's funny, he eats well, or whatever it is. So just kind of write down a few things, and you guys can also write down some things at home. Okay, I've also made a list, and here is the part. So I wrote positive, funny, warm, ambitious, kind, expressive, warm-natured, confident, easygoing, present, hardworking, focused, and open-hearted. Those are my qualities when I feel at my best. So what are yours?
My best version of myself is funny, sporty, lovely, confident, helpful, discreet, energetic, clear, and motivated.
Yeah, I think that sums you up pretty well when you're at your best.
That's the words for which I think about, yeah.
Okay, so the next part of this exercise is to give this character, this part of you, a name, and then to draw out this person the best that you can. So you can make a little sketch, or, you know, call it something. Like Mike Bayer, he says in the book that our parents give us names, but we can also name ourselves. Like we can name ourselves on how we see the best version of ourselves, or a symbol or anything that's like a good representation of what you think that person is. So should I share it, like, for example?
Yeah, what's your name?
My name is Sunshine. Because that's how I feel. When I feel like I'm at my best, I feel like I am a piece of sunshine, like a sunny, glowing star. Like, that's how I feel when I'm at my best. I haven't drawn myself, but it would probably be like a stick figure with a big sun in their chest, like sun rays.
You should draw it.
Okay. I mean, I'm not good at drawing. This is really terrible. It's basically a stick figure with a big sun coming out of its chest, and the name is Sunshine. Okay, now you draw your best self and give it a name. What would you name yourself?
James Bond.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm in my best version. He's very smart, James Bond. He's very lovely gentleman. He's a gentleman, and he's successful in what he's doing. And he's strong.
So now is where it gets kind of interesting. So we've now defined and brought in more awareness to our best selves, but we also have, as the book calls it, an anti-self, which is that not so good part of us that we all have. It's all in there. And he says that it's important to also talk about this person, because when you talk about something that's maybe a bit more difficult, it almost, like, you can almost laugh at it more. It takes away the seriousness of it, and you can catch yourself, and then you can say to yourself in the moment, do I want to be my best self, my sunshine, or do I want to be my anti-self? So now you have to do the same thing. So you have to think about a moment where you felt kind of shitty about yourself, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that,
okay.
Or I feel like I'm not being my good self.
It's much easier, this one, because this one is like really manifested in your head, and when you think about this person, you remember this person much more than the good person.
So let's write some characteristics of the anti-self.
All right.
And be as honest as you can. And I've also been very, very honest here. It's very personal, all of this stuff, but hopefully it will be helpful to you guys as well. Should I go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so my anti-self traits are overthinking, perfectionist, rigid, anxious, fearful, not thinking I'm good enough, short-tempered, pessimistic, not disciplined, self-critical, and judgmental. Those are like the things that I can be when I'm really not myself, like when I'm really not feeling good. Those are some of the characteristics. So my name for my anti-self is it's not really a name, it's more of like a creature. I think of it like a little gremlin. You know what a gremlin is?
Yeah, I know it.
It's like a little like weird creature. I don't even think of it as human. It's just like a weird thing that can just like come up in me.
My name is King Kong. Yeah,
King Kong.
The words that I describe myself at that moment, very loud, hard, very honest, which can be very hurtful, uncareful, that's how I would mean it, not thinking about the other person at that moment. Mean, cold, rude, ungrateful, it's also something that happens, and kind of paranoid. Yeah,
but the point of this is to take that thing out of the closet and just not be so afraid of it, and to also know that those two parts are in us. So that, for example, if we go around in our day, we feel in ourselves, oh, I'm really being a gremlin right now. I don't like being a gremlin. I don't like how it makes me feel. I'm not kind to anyone when I'm like that. So let me be sunshine instead. Let me choose to be the better version of myself.
I mean, I see this situation like this very heartful person who's like outside and is always nice and funny with the people outside and with Annie or with anybody around me. But then at this other moment, there's this person, which basically is for me James Bond, but then on the other side, there's this person who gets like, you know, so pissed and loud and aggressive and, you know, not under control at this moment, which is like this King Kong. This is my baddest situation, and sometimes you're not yourself at the moment, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of see it funny because everyone knows that there's this good and this bad one, you know? Everyone knows there's these two sides in yourself. But really trying to say, okay, maybe like even making it a funny way and say, you know, oh, is your King Kong coming out right now or what? Then you know already, okay, I have this King Kong right now. And then you try to solve the problem by yourself.
So did you think this was a helpful, cool little exercise? Did you like it?
I mean, totally. I mean, I still have to paint my King Kong, but I think everyone knows how King Kong looks. If you think about this and you see these two personalities, I mean, I see both strong, to be honest, on both sides, but which strong do I want to be? I want to be the very, you know, gentle, lovely, calmly, and easy person, strong man, or this rude, crazy person on the other side, you know? Even if you, like, you don't have to be the one or the other extreme. That's something that you have to work on, I think.
I think everyone is like that. Everyone can swing from side to side, but I think it's just about being aware, like checking in with yourself, what's going on now, and not just like riding blindly, you know. I hope that you guys also do this and let us know in the comments who your best self is, what their name is, and your anti-self.
I want to know the names. The good and the bad ones, okay?
But isn't it funny how it just comes to you? Like, you're not supposed to think about it too much. But if someone just says, okay, what's the name of this person that you just described? It's like, you kind of know within the first few seconds what you would name it, you know? So, all right. Back to the other parts of the video. So I'm back. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I would highly, highly recommend checking out this book, and there's so many other great exercises in there. So I think that you guys are really going to love it. If you guys want to listen to this book for free, I am working with Audible on this video, which means you guys get a free audiobook. You can go to audible.com/AnnieJaffrey, or you can text AnnieJaffrey to 500-500, and that will get you 3 months of Audible for just $6.95 a month. You can choose one audiobook and 2 Audible originals absolutely free, and that's more than half off the regular price, and this is for a limited time only. So I would highly recommend to check out the link in the description box down below. And if you haven't heard of Audible yet, they have an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original audio shows, news, comedy. I love listening to audiobooks when I'm out and about, especially when I'm driving or even when I'm cooking, I'm doing laundry. It's just a great kind of like passive activity to do when you're not doing the most exciting task, you know? And you can also listen to Audible on any device, so you can listen to it on Alexa, on Bluetooth, of course on your phone as well, which is how I listen to Audible. And also, not sure if you guys know this, but you are able to exchange your audiobooks if you're not actually happy with the book. So you can definitely exchange it for another one, and you also get to keep all of your audiobooks even if you cancel, so they're yours forever. If you guys want to check out the book, I will have all of the information below in the description box. And the third thing I want to talk about is knowing that it's okay to take a step back if you really are feeling overwhelmed, and to maybe remove a few things from your plate if you are feeling very stressed. I know that it's quite exciting and tempting to just take on a bunch of things because we want to grow and we want to advance and we want to, you know, move forward in our lives, but at the same time it could actually be detrimental to your own health if you feel like you're working all day but you're not sleeping enough, and you're eating crappy food, and you're stressed out and having arguments with your family and your friends, and you have a very like short fuse. That's something that happens to me personally when I do feel overwhelmed and too stressed, and that's when I think like, okay, I need to just take a step back, I need to refocus myself. And I sometimes feel that it's actually quite counterproductive and counter growth to keep moving forward. But if your mind is clouded and you're not really knowing, like, and being fully conscious and fully aware of what it is that you're doing, I feel like it's kind of an illusion, you know? Sometimes I really think that it's important to take a step back and get clarity and take some time to re-energize and really see where it is that you want to put your time in your life. This is something that's definitely happened to me a little bit the last few weeks. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere, but I feel like I sometimes want to do too much, and then I kind of lose track of myself and I'm doing things just to do. And sometimes I think it's really powerful to just take a few moments, take a step back, and just kind of look at the big picture of life and really see like, okay, where do I want to go without having like a lot of stress on my back all the time. I think it's important to also honor those seasons of life and know that sometimes it's great when, you know, things are like really full on and lots of things are happening, but some seasons I think are more of a reflective time and of seeing like what your next move is going to be. And I do feel like there's kind of like a guiltiness that comes with that, you know, like, oh, I should be doing something, or I said I was going to do that and I should be doing that. But if you are coming from a good place of wanting to slow down a little bit so that you can actually move forward even more, I think that's a good thing. I think that there's a difference between being lazy and unmotivated versus, you know, truly taking some time just for yourself, and we shouldn't feel guilty about that. And I mean, I'm totally in that boat as well. I love to do and to create, but sometimes I just feel like I need to tell myself to just take a step back and learn a few things and experience a few things before I come back here and share those things with you guys, so that I know that the content that I'm making and my time with you guys is actually really valuable for the both of us. And sometimes when I do these little breaks, I just feel like I come back so much stronger and so much more inspired and motivated. So I think that there's a place for, you know, cutting off and just recharging yourself. That's maybe not talked about a lot because it's very like go, go, go. I would love to hear your thoughts about this as well in the comments, if you can relate to any of these points, or if you guys have any tips for me or anyone else reading or watching this video and reading the comments. I would love to hear from you. I hope that you guys found this video really helpful, and I hope that you also enjoyed the book by Mike Baird, the one that I spoke about, as much as I did. I hope you're all having a beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Mwah.